every day you are being exposed to hundreds, if not thousands, of toxic fragrances. And I'm not just talking about perfumes. I'm talking about candles, lotion, cleaning products, air fresheners, deodorant, laundry detergent. If you use something and you can smell the smell later in the day or hours later, that's a telltale sign that your fragrance is toxic. So this was a highly requested video from you guys, and I have been researching scents and fragrances for the last year. I've been in the environmental, human health, sustainability field for the last 2 decades, and this is a passion of mine. So today I'm going to share what's going on with fragrances, and then because I like solutions, I'm going to give you some solutions. These are going to be just 4 simple things that you can do to protect yourself and greatly improve your health. So there's a toxicology doctor, Dr. Burkart. I have been following her for quite some time, and I've mentioned her in the past, and she recently talked about a study. This is a shocking study that I need to tell you about. And I'll link her below, and I will link all of the research I've done in case you want to do some additional research. But essentially, they took a group of women and they told those women to stop using certain products that contained fragrances. They said, stop using these particular shampoos and lotions, just stop using them for 28 days. That's all. Before the test, they took a sample of breast tissue from these women, and they measured the amount of breast cancer gene expression. Then these women eliminated everything for these 28 days, and they repeated the test, the same exact test on the same women of this breast cancer gene expression. What they saw is that the gene expression dropped. And you know what that means? It means that their cancer risk drastically lowered. Cancer used to be a disease that people would get when they're older. That was the nature of cancer. We know today that it's not genetic, rather it is environmental, and it's greatly influenced by the world around you and the things that you're exposing yourself to. Okay, so back to this study though. Let's talk about what the women removed from their use in these 28 days. The main thing was phthalates. Phthalates is what is used in fragrances. And essentially, they use phthalates so that it will make the fragrance last longer. It also makes the fragrance kind of bind to the skin. It makes it a little sticky, and it helps it to stay on the skin and get absorbed into the skin. And all the way back to the 90s is when scientists actually discovered that phthalates could mimic our body's natural hormones, and that's when they started to get concerned about these substances. And then in 2008, researchers discovered that babies were ingesting phthalates simply by chewing on a rubber ducky. So luckily, the phthalates that were in that ducky, Congress quickly moved to ban them. It was just 3 of them. It was DPB, BBP, and DEHP, and they immediately removed them from all of children's toys and baby care products, which is great. However, dozens of other phthalates still exist today, and they are still in tons and tons of the everyday products that we are using. And that's not even the worst thing, because the other thing is we don't know that the phthalates are in these products because the manufacturers don't have to tell you. They do not have to disclose this. They do not need to put it on the label. And I'll tell you why. The other concerning thing about phthalates is because it's associated with fragrance, at least the ones we're talking about today, you smell them. So this also means that they're airborne and you're breathing them. And then what happens is once they're done being airborne, they actually settle into the dirt and dust in your home. So if you're not cleaning and mopping every day, then you're going to have those phthalates sticking in your dust and you're going to be re-exposed to them. And this is especially bad if you've got kids or even pets that are down on the ground. And I've talked a little bit about cancer, but that's not the only problem when it comes to phthalates. Because these are known endocrine disruptors, there are a whole host of issues. And I will also link this study, and I'll just put it up now. This was a 2021 study, and it found that phthalates may contribute to 91,000 to 107,000 premature deaths a year among people ages 55 to 64 in the United States. So this is all shocking, and if you're thinking that the government should be protecting us, think again, because there are a lot of loopholes, and I'm just going to tell you what they are so that you know why most of us don't know about these problems with fragrances. Number one, the current whole system of fragrance safety is regulated by this group. They're actually called the International Fragrance Association, and they are representing the fragrance industry. Then they have a research arm called the Research Institute for Fragrance Materials. And if that's not bad enough, there's also no federal law that requires the labeling of these ingredients on anything. Now, don't freak out, because now that we know, we can easily do something about it. We can avoid these phthalates, and I'm gonna tell you how. I've been trying to, and I've been talking about this a little bit on my channel, I've been trying to eliminate these toxic phthalates from my home. You've heard me talk about candles, right? I'm trying to get these out of my home. I'm actually trying to get my family on board as well. And this is especially important to me with my teenage daughter because she likes to use a lot of beauty products. And I will say, phthalates are a big concern for women in particular. All of us are exposed to chemicals in fragrance every single day, but it's women who are exposed to the most, and that is because of the skincare and beauty and makeup product industry. So we have a greater body burden because if you think about it, just thinking of myself versus my husband, I probably use a dozen things on my body every day. I think my husband just uses soap. So just think of it that way. And they do estimate women use 12 to 16 skincare and beauty products every day. So that is a big load that you're taking on if everything that you're piling in has these phthalates and fragrances in them. First thing that you're going to do to reduce your exposure, check your labels. And I don't mean the marketing claims that you see on the front of the label. You will sometimes see things like natural, healthy, organic. This means nothing. What you want to do is you want to check the back of the label. Don't worry about the front. You're going to check the back. What you're going to be looking for, these are the two code words. You're going to look for the word fragrance or you're going to look for the word parfum. Those two words are what all of these toxic chemicals hide behind. So when you see the word parfum, that could be 20 chemicals that make up the parfum. Or if you see the word fragrance, same idea. And all of these chemicals hide there because they are not required to disclose what those chemicals are because it's considered a trade secret. So check your lotions, check your shampoo, your conditioner, your hairspray, check your face wash, check your deodorant. You would be shocked at how many things that don't need fragrance have fragrance added to them. These are very easy places to eliminate fragrance in your body. Just as an example, this is what I use. This is the CeraVe lotion. This does not have any fragrance on the label. There's nothing in it. My daughter is using this one. This is Vanilla Cashmere 24-Hour Body Moisture Lotion. So fragrance, if you look at the back of this bottle, it's way up there near the top. So you know there's a lot of chemicals in here. You got to choose the right one. Sometimes companies do make it easier for you and they will put on the front phthalate free, which is great. But again, you know the code words, so you can just look at the label. And if you can't read the label because it's so tiny, and I think they do that on purpose, you can go online and check them as well. Also, check your toilet paper, your tissues, even menstrual products. They are adding fragrance to these things. Why on earth do these things need to be scented? And cleaning products. The cleaning product category is some of the worst offenders, and it's also very poorly regulated. So if you're using store-bought cleaners, you could be exposing yourself to these chemicals. Again, I will link some more research below, but I would highly encourage you, if you're not already, and I know a lot of you guys are already doing this, which is awesome, make your own cleaning products. You do not need to bring these harsh chemicals into your home. You can make them yourself, and they're just as effective. By the way, I just want to say thank you to you guys. I don't know if you can see in the back, I've got my YouTube play button. It just arrived a couple days ago. I am so excited and I'm so grateful to you guys for making this channel possible, and just a big thank you. Okay, the second way that you're going to reduce your exposure to some of these items and to these phthalates, stop using these items. And I'll tell you what these items are. Number one, never burn scented candles. Okay, I still keep on finding candles in my home. This is one example. Do not burn these. This is so bad for you. Also, never use air fresheners. Never use scent beads or any of those scented laundry products. Never use dryer sheets. If you want fresh smelling laundry, you could get some wool balls. That's what I have. And then you can add some essential oil to your tumble dry, and that will give a good smell from essential oils, which are safe. And speaking of candles, I used to love burning candles. In fact, when it used to be winter, one of the things I loved so much is I would come downstairs in the morning and I would put a candle on and I'd burn it for 4, 5, 6 hours, and I just loved it. I will never do that again. And let me just tell you a story that happened over Christmas. We had rented a house and two of my sisters were sharing a room, and one of them had been burning a scented candle, and she accidentally left it on overnight while they were sleeping in the room. Now, aside from burning the house down, my younger sister came out in the morning and she said to me, I feel so sick. I think that it was because of that candle. It was burning all night. I feel like I'm going to throw up. Absolutely. These candles are making you sick. The third thing you can do to reduce or eliminate your exposure is to choose fragrance-free products. Just let me give you a little tip here though, because you're going to look for on the label fragrance-free. Don't be tricked by unscented. Unscented is not the same. Unscented simply means that you can't smell a smell. But sometimes these products actually smell really bad, and so they add phthalates and fragrances to them to get them to not smell at all, and hence unscented. So you want to look for fragrance-free. And I know for certain things, fragrance-free can be a little bit more expensive. I did try to get my daughter a fragrance-free body wash, and it was just like a normal sized bottle that was $40, which is pretty pricey. But guess what? You can also make your own if you're interested. I will just put this up on the screen. I ended up making my own with some simple things that I already had in my pantry, just things like water, castile soap, and some honey. And then I added some essential oil. It'll last for 6 months in this foaming hand wash bottle. I used it this morning. It's amazing. It's unscented, and it probably cost me 50 cents to make, if that. Okay, and then the fourth thing that you can do to reduce your exposure to phthalates and eliminate your exposure, you're not going to want to hear this one, but it's cleaning often. So I mentioned earlier in the video that these settle into dust particles. These phthalates are kind of sticky, so they stick to the dust and they stay there, but then you do get re-exposed. So if you can, try to vacuum every day. I will suggest you get a vacuum cleaner with a HEPA filter. That is best. And you know what? If you want to do a little bit more, you could also get yourself a dehumidifier. Make sure your home is between 40 and 60%. That helps a lot. And get yourself some plants. Plants are great for your air. Okay, guys, that is my warning to you, my video on toxic fragrances. Let me know if you want me to do a deeper dive into anything that I've shared today. I'm thinking of doing a whole episode on beauty products that are cleaner and safer, because I've been doing so much research for years. Truly, this has been such a passion of mine. I love to share what I've learned, so just let me know if you'd be interested in something like that. In the meantime, I'm going to link the Clean Living playlist that I've been making, so click on it and I'll see you over there. Bye-bye.